Can you see the slides now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, thank you. Okay, so today is the last day and I'll finish the last two stories from the Lotus Sutra. Okay, so today we're going to do the 6th and the 7th parables. Okay, the parable of a pearl on the top knot. Buddha told the Bodhisattva Manjusri that the Lotus Sutra is protected by the power of the past, present, and future Buddhas. But the name of the Lotus Sutra has not even been heard in countless lands, not to mention if it can be seen, received, embraced, read, and recited. Buddha said, Manjusri, imagine that there is a powerful wheel-turning sage king. He is not an ordinary king. His kingdom is the strongest among all other small countries. He wants all people to live in harmony, so he wants to unite all kingdoms, so the future should be better for all. This wheel-turning sage king does not want to use force and power to unite all other countries. He tries to do it peacefully, but other kings of the small kingdoms do not agree to this. So the wheel-turning king calls up his various armies to defeat them. The king is greatly pleased and rewards the soldiers according to their merits. These soldiers who fought well are rewarded with many things, like fields, houses, villages, and towns, robes, and personal ornaments, or other treasures like gold, silver, lapis lazuli, seashell, coral, amber, and all sorts of jewelries, or elephants, horses, carriages, servants, etc. But only one thing he does not give out is a bright pearl in his top knot. Why is that? Because this pearl can only be on the head of a king. If he gave it away to others, all the king's followers would be astonished and would be suspicious. Manjusri, Buddha is also the same. He uses the powers of meditation and wisdom to obtain true Dharma, which is like owning lands of the Dharma. Buddha is the king of the threefold world. However, the evil kings are not unwillingly to submit. The wise and holy generals are fighting against the evil kings. Buddha is pleased at those who fought well. He begins to teach the Dharma to the 4 groups, making them very happy. The 4 groups are the monks, nuns, male and female devotees. He tells them the way to do meditations, seeking liberation, and obtaining the 5 powers by practicing the 5 roots of goodness and other treasures of the teachings. In addition, he gives them the city of Nirvana, telling them that they have attained Nirvana and keep on guiding them so that they all rejoice. Yet for them, he has not taught the Lotus Sutra. Manjushri, when the wheel-turning sage king sees the soldier has distinguished himself from the rest, he is so pleased that at last he gives the incredible jewel to him. This jewel is a pearl that is hidden on his top knot. He has been wearing it for so long on his head and has never thought of giving it to anyone. So it is the same with Buddha. As the great Dharma king of the threefold world, he is teaching and helping all the living beings with the Dharma. When Buddha sees his wise and holy army fighting against the devils of the five aggregates, the evils of afflictions, and the evils of death, and winning great distinctions and merits, eliminating the three poisons, emerging from the threefold world and breaking the nets of the devils, he is greatly pleased. Though it will be met with hostility and disbelief, Buddha knows that the Lotus Sutra can lead all the living to comprehensive wisdom. Though it has never been taught, Buddha now teaches it. Manjusri, the Lotus Sutra is the greatest teaching of the Buddhas and the most profound of them all. I give it to you last, just as the powerful king in the end gave out the bright jewel he had gathered for so long. Manjusri, this Lotus Sutra is the secret treasure of the Buddhas, and it is the supreme one above the other sutras. Having been guarded and protected for a long time, it has not been recklessly taught. Today, for the first time, I laid it out for all of you to learn and practice. Okay, so now we're looking at some ideas in the story. The Lotus Sutra is the sutra that Buddhas of the 10 directions, as well as the Buddhas from the past, present, and future, all want to protect. The teaching is precious. It is rare to have a chance to hear the Lotus Sutra because it is not a sutra that Buddhas will easily present to others. To be able even to hear the name of the Lotus Sutra is not easy. Not to say have the chance to recall, read, or recite the sutra. To be able to pay respect to this great teaching and share the teachings of the Lotus Sutra is even harder. The pearl on the wheel-turning Sage King is very special and precious, and would not be given away easily to others. This refers to the Lotus Sutra. The teachings of it will not be taught without reasons. There is a wheel-turning Sage King who has great power. His power shows that he can overcome difficulties. He is a very powerful king. The kings of all of other smaller countries do not have the ability to fight against him. He is an ideal, mythical version of the perfect king who can rule by righteousness rather than by force. There are 4 types of wheel-turning Sage Kings. They are the kings that own the gold, silver, bronze, and iron wheels. The gold wheel-turning Sage King has a gold wheel. When he thinks of a place, the gold wheel will fly him there. When the king wants to go to different places, the wheel will show and lead the king to those places. Because the power of the gold wheel is so great, the king does not have to show his ability to others or fight with them. The kings in other countries will all surrender to him. The silver wheel-turning Sage King has got less power than the gold wheel-turning Sage King. he needs to send some officers to meet the kings in other countries occasionally, and they would not listen to him. The bronze wheel turning sage king needs to gather his army to show his power to the kings in other countries. Otherwise, they do not respect him. The iron wheel turning sage kings needs to have war and fight with others physically to rule over them. So these wheel turning sage kings are still human. They ruled according to the teachings of the 10 wholesome deeds. The wheel turning king in this story is the iron wheel turning sage king, because he needs to fight against other countries. This wheel turning king notices all these kings of the small countries and the citizens are not practicing the 10 wholesome deeds. He wants to unite all these small kingdoms, so all these people will practice the 10 wholesome deeds, and there will be no war in the future. This refers to sentient beings in our world that are ignorant and have wrong views. They do not carry out wholesome deeds or practice according to the Noble Eightfold Path. So Buddha uses supernatural power and wisdom to teach and guide these sentient beings so they can overcome their defilements. The wheel-turning sage king is no normal king that we know from our world. He would not take advantages and resources from the defeated countries. The only thing he wants is peace for everyone, and all the citizens practice 10 wholesome deeds together and become good people. In the story, the wheel-turning king gathered an army to fight against other countries. Those who fought exceptionally well will get rewards. The king offered them fields, lands, village, city, clothes, satin, armor, and servants, depending on their performance. The only thing the king did not offer them is the precious pearl on his top knot. It is the unique pearl of the wheel-turning sage king, and it is the most valuable jewel of the country. It will not be given to others. If it is given to others as a gift, the family members of the king will all be stunned. So the wheel-turning sage king is the Buddha. And the kings from other smaller countries refer to the 4 demons. So the 4 demons are the demon of the 5 aggregates: form, sensation, perception, volition, and consciousness. 2, the demons of afflictions. 3, the demons of death. And 4, the demons of heaven, that stop people committing transmundane goodness. So gathering an army refers to using the right teaching to overcome the 4 demons. Those soldiers who perform exceptionally meritorious services refer to sentient beings that can give up delusions. Rewarding them according to their achievements and services refers to merits they gained from the destruction of delusions and defilements. The following are the rewards. The field refers to wisdom that enable one to understand the truth and stop delusion. The houses refer to meditative concentration. The village refers to nirvana attained while living in the world. The city refers to the state of total liberation from all physical and mental conditions. The clothing refer to feelings regretful and ashamed. Other treasures refer to the 37 practices conducive to enlightenment, which includes the 4 stations of mindfulness, the 4 right exertions, the 4 spiritual powers, the 5 roots of goodness, the 5 powers from the 5 roots of goodness, and the 7 factors of enlightenment, and the eightfold path. So the pearl on the head refers to the Dharma teaching of the one vehicle. The relatives of the king refer to Buddha of 10 directions and the great bodhisattvas. The war in the story refers our battle against the defilements and delusions within. If we can do that, we are defeating the demons. Those kings of the smaller countries who do not surrender refers to the demons who would not want to surrender. If more people practice Buddha Dharma, then the demons will have less power, because we are doing wholesome deeds, so the bad karma will not be created. If we are all good people, then the evil will have no assistance to help him. Evil does not want us to become better and accumulate merits. How can the evil prevent us from getting better? For example, if you want to work harder and be better, there will be a person telling you that there is no need to do so. If you want to get 90 marks in your exam, this person will say, oh, 80 is good enough. Evil will always stop us from gaining great achievements. It wants us to live a slapdash manner. So those great heroes that provide exceptionally meritorious services refer to the sages and the Shravakas that attain the first, second, third, and the fourth fruits. So they are not afraid of evil, and they cannot be seduced because they have overcome their afflictions. The wheel-turning sage king is very happy. This refers to the Buddha who's very happy because so many people are practicing his Dharma and have this ability. Buddha rewards them by giving them more teachings. All these teachings can help them accumulate more merits and gain wisdom. Only the person who has the greatest contribution and merits can be rewarded with the precious pearl. This refers to a person who has already overcome the 4 demons and all afflictions. He has given up the 3 poisons. He has been liberated from the threefold world and has ended the cyclic existence. This person has perfected one's wholesome roots and merits and is ready to receive the precious pearl, which refers to the teaching of the Lotus Sutra and the unsurpassed mind of enlightenment. Okay, so here's another painting, another wall painting at the Dunhuang cave depicting this story. So you can see there's someone fighting against each other on the horses. Yeah, so this depicts the story. This is interesting as well. So yeah, just to show you. Okay. Okay. So the next one, the parables of the doctors and his children. Buddha said, "Good man, whenever living beings comes to me, I use my Buddha eyes to observe their faith and see if their other faculties are keen or dull. I appeared in different places and preach using different names and spend different lengths of time for my teachings so as to make it more effective. Sometimes I will tell them I am about to enter nirvana, and I will employ different expedient means to teach the profound and wonderful Dharma to make all these sentient beings happy." Buddha said, the Buddhists observe that some sentient beings prefer the inferior teachings. They are the people with lots of defilements and little virtues. For these people, I will tell them, I left home when I was young, and I lived a monastic life and attained supreme awakening. But in reality, the time since I attained Buddhahood is extremely long. I just use these skillful means to teach and guide the sentient beings so that they can find it easier to enter the path of Buddhahood. The purpose of all the sutras preached by the Buddha is to save all sentient beings. Sometimes I speak of myself, sometimes of others. Sometimes I appear as myself, sometimes as someone else. Sometimes I appear in my actions, sometimes in the action of others. But all that I say is true. Why can I do that? Buddha perceived the true aspect of the threefold world exactly as it is. For him, there is no birth or death, and there is neither retreat from nor emergence into the world. Neither are there any beings existing in the world nor being entering extinction. Nothing is simply real and nothing is simply empty. Nothing is really as it appears and vice versa. The threefold world is not as we experienced it. The Buddha sees it clearly without any error. Because sentient beings have different natures, different needs, different actions, and different ways of thinking. I want to lead them to grow good roots. I employ a variety of causes and conditions, similes, parables, phrases, and other kinds of expressions to deliver my teachings. I have never forgotten to carry out the work of a Buddha, even for a moment. I have become a Buddha for a very long time, having a lifetime of innumerable, countless eons of constantly living without a break. From the beginning, I have practiced the Bodhisattva way, and my life has not yet ended. It will still be many times the length of time that I have already lived. Now, though I have not actually entered Nirvana, I announce that I will be on the way to Nirvana. By using such skillful means, the Tathagata teaches and guides all sentient beings to Nirvana. Why is this like that? If the Buddha remains in the world for a long time, people with little virtues will not grow the roots of goodness. They will live in poverty and loneliness. Also, they will become attached to the 5 desires and will be caught in the net of deluded thoughts and false wills. If sentient beings see that the Tathagata is always alive and will never pass away, they will become arrogant, selfish, and will become discouraged and lazy to practice. They are not able to realize how difficult it is to meet Buddha, so they will not have a respectful attitude towards him. Therefore, the Tathagata teaches us by using skillful means, saying, monks, you should know that it is hard to be able to live at a time when Buddhists appear in the world. Why is that? Because a person with little virtue, after passing through immeasurable hundreds, thousands, 10,000 eons, may have a chance to see a Buddha, or they may never have a chance, they never have such a chance at all. For this reason, I say, monks, it is difficult to have a chance to come across a Buddha. And when sentient beings hear these words, they will certainly realize how difficult it is to be able to encounter the Buddha. They will yearn to meet one. So they will cultivate the roots of goodness. Therefore, Buddha speaks of entering nirvana, but actually he has not entered the real nirvana yet. Good sons, the teachings of all the Buddha Tathagatas are like this. They are for the sake of liberating other sentient beings. They are so true. So Buddha uses skillful means to explain his Dharma, such as using a story. There is a good doctor. He is clever and knows how to prepare medicines for curing all sorts of diseases. Sorry. He is famous and he has got a big family with many children, perhaps 10, 20, or even 100. Once he has to deal with some matters in other places, so he is away, and his children accidentally drink poison drugs which drive them into hallucination and distress. So these kids are very naughty. When their father went away, like they play and they like, oh, I'm very thirsty. So they mistakenly take the poison and drink it. And they are in pain and discomfort. They are even writhing on the ground. So at that time, their father returns home to find such a situation. Some of the children are completely out of their minds, while others are not. These children are all joyful to see their father in the distance. They all kneel to greet him, saying, "Oh, it's so great, Father, that you have returned safely. We were stupid, and by mistakes, we took some poison. Please cure us and give us back our lives." The father, seeing his children in such suffering and agony, follows various formulas. Look for good medicinal herbs, which are perfect in color, fragrance, and flavor. Then he pounds, sifts, and mixes them and give it to his children. telling them, this excellent medicine is perfect in color, fragrance, and flavor. Take it, and you will quickly be rid of your suffering and agony, and be free from the illness. This is good. Take it now. Those children who have not lost their minds can see that this is good medicine, outstanding both in color and fragrance. So they take it immediately and are completely cured of their illness. The others who have lost their minds are also happy to see their father's return and also ask him to heal their illness. Yet, when the medicine is given to them, they refuse to take it. Why? Because the poison has penetrated deeply into them and their minds can no longer function as before. Even though the medicine has good color and fragrance, they still think it is no good. The father thinks to himself, these poor children, because of poisons in them, their minds are completely unbalanced. Although they are happy to see me back and ask me to be healed, they refuse to take this good medicine. Now I must use some skillful means to make them take the medicine. Then he said to them, you should know that I am old and worn out, and the time of my death has come. I will leave this excellent medicine here. You should take it and should not have doubt that I will not cure you. After instructing them in this way, he leaves again for another country. Then he sent back a messenger to inform them, your father is dead. When those children hear that their father is dead and has left them behind, they become so distressed and think of themselves, if our father were still alive, he would have been kind to us and would have protected us and saved us. But now he has abandoned us and died in a distant land. Now we become orphans with no one to rely on. What should we do? This continuous grief brings them to their senses. They remember that their father has left them good medicine before he left and has told them to take it. They immediately remember that it is the medicine prepared by their dearest father, who they always rely on. What his father said must be true and it can save them. So they quickly find the medicine which is so good in color, fragrance, and flavor. They take it and they are all healed from the poison. And after hearing that the children have all recovered, the father returns home immediately. So the children can see their father again. So, good man, what is your opinion? Do you find this skilled doctor guilty of lying? The disciples replied, no, Buddha. The Buddha said, it is the same with me. It has been immeasurable, boundless, hundreds, thousands, and countless eons since I attained Buddhahood. Because I want to benefit all sentient beings, I use expedient means, saying, I am about to reach nirvana. Yet, taking the circumstances into account, no one can accuse me of being guilty of lying. Buddha considers all beings as his children, similar to the doctor who pretends that he died to awaken his children to take the medicine and to be cured. Buddha does the same, saying that he will enter nirvana and leave us. Actually, he wants us to wake up and take the medicine of Dharma. Then we can relieve from all sufferings and get happiness. Okay, so we look at the ideas in the story now. In the story, the father, who is a fine doctor, who is famous because of his fine skills and knowledge in curing people's illness. A good doctor has 4 qualities. He should be able to identify the illness, know the reason behind the illness, give the right medicine and treatment to the sick one, and help patients to avoid suffering from the illness again. The doctor refers to Buddha. Buddha can free sentient beings from their problems and sufferings and teach us the way to be liberated and live happily. To die and be reborn again, having afflictions and karmic hindrances are the fundamental sickness among all sentient beings. The Buddha has great wisdom. For him, there are no obstacles because he has achieved the perfection in supreme enlightenment. So he knows the characters and the needs of the sentient beings. And he knows the right kind of medicine to cure them for their illness. That is, by providing them the appropriate Dharma teachings. The Dharma teachings are the remedies for sentient beings who are ill. The children of the doctor in the story refer to all the sentient beings that had listened to Buddha's Dharma in the past. They were Buddhists that have accumulated wholesome roots in the past. The father leaves his home and children for another country because he is a doctor. It is his duty to help other people in other places too. This refers to Buddha, who goes from place to place where sentient beings need him. Buddha gives them Dharma teachings so they can practice and help themselves. Buddha does not stay in one place forever. He leaves after this work is done. While the doctor is away, his children mistakenly take the poison. They are so glad to see his father's return. They all plead their father to save them. The doctor immediately provides them help. This refers to the Buddhists who do not practice Buddha Dharma after Buddha attained nirvana. They either are poisoned by the wrong views or they are fallen into the enjoyments of the 5 desires, the desires that arise from the attachments to the objects of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. They have attachments towards material things, love, desire, and all sorts of delusional thoughts. The children are bending on the ground, holding their tummy because of the pain. This refers to the sufferings the sentient beings have from their desire, attachment, and wrong views. As a result, some of them even fall into evil destinies, to the hell, animals, or hungry ghost realm. The children also refer to those people in our world who have encountered Buddha Dharma but do not believe it. The doctor immediately uses good medicinal herbs and make effective medicine, which looks good and tasty. The medicine refers to the boundless Dharma teaching. And the medicine herbs refer to the practice and methods recorded in the sutras. The good look and great taste of this medicine refer to the precepts and wisdoms that help us not to perform unwholesome deeds. Those children who are only slightly poisoned know the medicine is made by their father. They know the medicine is good, so they take it quickly and without a second thought, and they are all recovered. This refers to Buddhists who have great faith, that they practice diligently all the time, so their mind is clear. This also refers to the sages, the Shravakas, that have attained the first, second, third, or the fourth fruits, and those that are practicing on the Bodhisattva's path. They have wholesome roots and would not lose their faith in Buddha Dharma. Those children that are poisoned seriously have lost their minds and cannot think properly. They are very happy to see their father, but they refuse to take the medicine. They think the medicine is not good for them. This refers to those sentient beings who have been affected heavily by the three poisons: desire, attachment, and wrong views for a long time. Even though these sentient beings have listened to Buddha Dharma in the past, they do not accept the teaching now, so they are not willing to practice it as well. The father feels pity for his children and say to them, "I am old and will die soon. This is the only medicine that can save you." After saying that, he left home and go to another country. Later, he sent someone to tell his kids that he's dead. This refers to Buddha, knowing that sentient beings are lazy and not willing to practice hard. So he tells his disciples that he is already 80 years old and will soon enter nirvana. This will push his disciples to work harder. Although Buddha is not with us anymore, his Dharma teaching is still around and can cure our sickness and help us transcend the mundane world into and attain the Buddhahood. Those children who refuse to take the Buddhism before are very sad after hearing the sad news that their beloved father and the only one who can save them has died. Their minds suddenly become clear and willing to take the medicine, and they are all recovered in the end. This refers to the sentient beings practicing hard after Buddha enters nirvana. Because Buddha is not there anymore, we can only rely on his teaching from now on. When the doctor hears the news that all the children have recovered, he comes back home to be with them again. So for sentient beings that refuse to practice the Dharma, there is not much chance for them to meet the Buddha again. If they practice hard and grow more good roots, they may meet the Buddha again. Buddha employed expedient means by entering nirvana. Buddha was born in this world because he wants to help all sentient beings. He entered nirvana also because of the same reason. He did that not for the benefits of himself, but for us. So Buddha is great and wants to guide us. So Buddha should stay with us for a longer time. However, Buddha does not. Some may ask, why does Buddha do that? Why he's not staying with us forever? Buddha said, It is not good for sentient beings if he does not enter nirvana, because there are sentient beings that do not have virtues or merits. They do not have wholesome roots, and they have afflictions or defilements, or they just had a little of those above. And they enjoy the pleasure of the 5 desires, the cravings of the 5 organs, the 5 kinds of desires arising from the attachments to the objects of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. If Buddha stay long-term in our world, these sentient beings will become arrogant and do not respect Buddha and the Dharma teaching. For example, if we only see the monastic member once a year, we may bow to them and put our palms together when greeting. But if we see this venerable every day, we would think there is nothing special about this person, and later do not even want to greet the monastic member. This is the habit of human beings. If we see the same person or go to the same place every day, we will feel bored and do not think it is rare or unusual. Another example is if we are living with our parents, seeing and talking to them every day, we will think they are worldly and do not want to listen to them at all. But if your parents are not around, you will think of them and miss the precious moment with them. So it is a good idea for Buddha to leave us. We will miss him, respect and value the Dharma teachings, and will be willing to practice it diligently. Buddha left us not because he is tired of us, but to help and benefit us. Okay, so this is another painting that in the cave, showing that the doctor is in a house with his children, and then the children's, like, he told the children's he had to go away and something like that. And yeah, so it depicting the story in the pictorial form. And probably this can only be done in the old ages, because the artists and the people have great faith and they fully devoted to do that. There's not, well, I still think there's artists doing it these days, but not like in the past that so devoted their whole life to do the religious work. Yeah, so this is the end of the okay, so any oops. Hi, am I frozen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Am I back?
Yes.
Yes, you're back.
Yeah. Okay. So we still have a few minutes left. So this is the end of the story. So we can share some ideas that you think about the stories, or how these stories can help you or guide, give you some sort of a guide in your life. Anything you want to say?
Spreading the Dharma.
Yes. We can see that, we are not diligent to practice something if our master, our teachers is always around.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Faye?
Yeah, I think we see monastic giving the Dharma, it is helpful to people because we trust they talk with the real truth, not what they think. This is always we have to remember. When we're spreading Dharma, it's what the Buddha said, not what I said, not the thing.
Yes.
So that's also the old master always tell us, you need to have a monastic as your teacher, because they don't think what they say and what come from their mind. It's all what the Buddha said from the sutta. This is very important. We learn from the sutta. We can perfect ourselves, our behavior, our being a human being, good human being. So I think I have to back to what San-He was saying, afraid to be making mistake in the precept. No, precept is a guiding us to the right direction. And I always like what the Bhikkhu Bodhi, I said it before, Bhikkhu Bodhi always a training rule. That they say, training yourself to reach the top, fullest. It's not all the Buddha, I mean, all the rule that we're supposed to learn, we can do it. You know, sometimes it's just like the story before, they said they're lying, but because there's a purpose for that. That's not really lying to hurt people. What can be done if it's helping others? It's not hurting others. That's what the Buddha path, I mean, Bodhisattva path, it's helping others and benefit yourself, right?
Yes. So that's why, like Faye, sometimes you you talk loud to them and tell them to like don't talk at the corridor or go to the class earlier. These are all expedient means, is it?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, if you don't yell at them, they don't hear it. They're all deaf, you know. Because they occupy with something else, you know. So I have to scolding them.
Because you've got more training. You understand, you know, how to respect the presenter and how to follow the schedules. And a lot of them, maybe they are new, or you know, they have their city life and they suddenly come to the monastery.
When I first
came,
it takes time to practice. This is the experience. I get all this what you call Lao Sifu never really like yell at me, but they always said be soft and round, not too much point, you know. So don't pick on people, you know. He's softly correcting me, and you know, he always correcting me. Like when I walk fast, when I move fast, he always put a brick on his hand next to me. Did not touch me, just say the action, just slow down. Is that nothing to be quick? I mean, you don't have to rush. You know, it's slow. Because when you're running, you're excited, so you walk slowly. I said that's why he also promoting walking meditation. You cannot walk fast when you meditate. You have to count your step. At the beginning it's so difficult, but I mean, that's it. I have to say it's a practicing to for yourself. I think who is this in this room? We don't have, maybe Larry, always the one that with me all the time. Larry, I always say practice the Dharma, practice the teaching, right? Not just a knowledge, it's a practice. The knowledge is what you learn. I mean, you know, and then you have to do it to understand it. That practice is more important than just learning more books, you know, in Buddhism.
And Professor Rim.
Where is he? Is he there?
Yes. Well, it's a privilege. We always have you with us in the group. You are so knowledgeable. Any things that you want to share with us?
Oh yeah, he has a lot of good things.
Yes, he is really great. I also learned from him.
Yes. I was telling one of my friends here, I said, Professor Rim talking about like a travel agent at the beginning, at the end, it is like it's a whole Buddha teaching. You know, it's a teaching. It's not just a travel agent, you know. At first he was saying, oh, gee, they tell you to go this mountain and hiking and blah, blah, blah. No. All of a sudden, the 12 link of a dependent it's the 12 links of dependent arising is coming coming on. Oh my goodness. That's him. He's so talented. He's so,
Yes.
he knows everything. I don't know why he's so quiet today.
Oh, I'm just quiet because it's kind of like the end.
I know I was tired yesterday, so I can understand that some people at the end, they're done.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's good that you chose the parables from the Lotus Sutra, because the Lotus Sutra is one of the things it's most famous for are the parables.
Mhm.
And that's probably why it was used a lot in teaching lay people. There is indication that it was largely a sutra for lay people. Because it's easy to understand. It's easy for them to understand, and it has a lot of faith. Faith is a fundamental characteristic of a Lotus Sutra. What's interesting is it has 2 turnings of the Dhamma in it, not 3. That comes in later Mahayana. So that's some indication too that it's a very early sutra. When we come to early Mahayana sutras, the Lotus and the Prajnaparamita are the earliest sutras of the Mahayana kind.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I often hear teachers or master tell me, Buddha is the physician, Dharma is the medicine. Always. Yeah. I have heard this millions of times. But that's true. It's coming in this story, isn't it?
Yeah.
At first, when you hear this story, what kind of story is this? You know, it's what the medicine and poison, yeah. But I mean, slowly after you hear it many times, it is true. The parable is very good. Yeah.
Whoops. Larry's at it.
Yeah, let's bow and then we can chat again.
We could chat after this too. So I'm actually hungry. So
that's what I'm going to do.
I have to get my laundry out of the dryer.
Oh, right. All these mundane chores.
3 bows to the Buddha. And bow to the teacher.
Yeah. Thank you, Venerable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next year.
No.
No?
Later. He's going to be around until later, right, Michael?
Oh, she's talking to the Venerable.
Yes. Let's see you next year.
Oh, he's talking about the Venerable. Oh, I see. No, we don't let her go yet.
Oh.
We've got 2 more talks to go.
Yeah, so she's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's not a sleeping time for her anyway. I just learned today. She's there.
Faye, did you say earlier, you said Dharma is the medicine, but you said before that the physician is the Juma?
Buddha.
The Buddha. I can't hear you. My computer keeps phasing out. I understand that.
Buddha is the doctor, is the physician.
Yeah, I know that.
Is the medicine, yes.
Like I said, my computer keeps phasing out a little. It's making this weird noise.
The internet is not that stable lately, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The internet hasn't been that stable. Maybe because too many people are using the internet. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
No. It just happened.
No, I don't know.
Everybody go to eat lunch, I guess, or eat dinner, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I tried to go through my notes, but I think I'm just gonna. The thing is I had like these questions, but I realize now that whatever I had is questions, it's probably not worth. In some of these things, like they mentioned the 4 stations of the mind, the 4 whatevers, the 4 powers, the powers of from goodness, powers. I can't keep track of all these different ones. I tried to write most of them down, but I don't.
They will send you the.
That they're going to send that. I think
they will send you the thing, and then when they upload it, and I will send everybody this thing. So
well,
you
that's why I said to you that, you know, I'll be able to just look at it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, this gets recorded and everything else. I mean, for a long time, for 3 nights, I really struggled with the Heart Sutra. I don't know why.
Because Heart Sutra, you know, the lecture.
Yeah, I kept looking at my notes, or I was listening because some reason
that's very difficult. That's very difficult.
I don't know why, you know, at first that I was thinking, I wasn't even thinking about it in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
He promised. He said he's going to send the thing in written and also the tape.
He always does. It's just that I've gotten to the point where I've read some of the notes over or something. I did this with everything because I don't know if I was paying attention yesterday. I don't know why, but my whole mind was like,
no, yesterday was a difficult part anyway. It's very difficult.
Well, I guess because the third day is sort of like the climax or something. I don't know.
Today is even more.
Well, yeah, but at least I'm trying to connect things. But you know, the other thing is, I thought with this physician one that we are like children to the Buddha in his nirvana state anyway. I mean,
after this retreat, I will collecting some excerpt about this emptiness, what it is about.
Yeah, I think that, like, I understand that this is all connected to, and I've been reading it. We've been discussing the different paths, and one of the things is the Bodhisattva path gets addressed too. So I'm getting there, but maybe in a weird way.
No, you have to read it many times and then go back and forth and think about it. It's very abstract. You don't see it. Mm-hmm. You have to have a lot of simile, and they give example. Just like one of our Dharma friend, she always asks me, where am I going to be after I die? I said, why you worry about it? Wait until you die, then you know.
Right. I mean, but it's like,
I mean, why you worry about it? So just live, you know.
You
Whenever it passed, it said it's a karma. I said, so the karma is already there. So try to avoid it. That's all.
Right. I mean, I can understand why people, I mean, I was afraid of death when I was a little kid, but I didn't understand death until I was about 8 years old. And even then, people my age didn't understand what I was understanding. And I'm not sure, you know, that you just come to it when you come to it, like you said, you know?
Yeah.
So I get, I get what you're saying about it.
So Justine, what is your problem?
Okay, yeah.
Well, like I was in your class. This is ridiculous, but I kept, you know, in different stories, I couldn't keep up with what the three to five defilements, for example, when we first started.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
The defilements are from the eyes, nose, mouth. The desires, you know, because we have desires.
Well, that's why I said to you the notes. She said that she's going to send us.
Oh yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
And don't worry, because like at the first part, the story, I try to follow what is said in the sutra. So I just follow that first, and then the second part is the extra bits, the ideas from it. But still, because of the time, I couldn't really explain all, because each of them, there's explanation and things that you can research on if you're not sure, because that's more the theory side. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I need to read I'm going to call it scripture itself, or whatever it is, the story. And I think that's the only way I'm going to really understand that you know, these different things like the factors of enlightenment, but especially the 7 or 8 bhumis.
Oh, yeah. The bhumis are the stages of bodhisattvas. It's complicated, Justine, not just for you. When I first enter the Buddhist Institute, that is the first time I hear about that. And I'm like, what is that?
Everybody do that. Everybody.
yes, Justine.
So
yes.
I always tell our Dharma friend when they first came, I said, write it down. This is always the Bhikkhu Bodhi say, take a note and then terminology, understand the terminology. Because when we say something like emptiness, a lot of people think that we were saying, oh, that's nothing there, it's empty. It's not, it's a different way of us thinking. It's a concept, they just use that word. But like no self, here I am, why am I, what is it? I'm not something, but then he keep you thinking of it. If you read it and then understand it, oh yeah, this is from the element, 4 elements. You know, slowly you put together yourself, because this is all very abstract thing. I'm not that good in abstract, I'm telling you. But
well, Faye, you've been doing quite good. And Justin, sometimes we read these theories, we thought we know. But if we don't contemplate and keep thinking about it, or if our merits is not good enough yet, we may not understand. But if we, keep doing it and have faith, it will grow.
Yeah,
it's not even that me. It's the taking notes issue. But like with no self, I was reading, that this is also something to do with our ability to have compassion, that we don't think of ourselves. We don't think of ourselves as the center all the time, because if we're just thinking about taking care of ourselves, then that's not bodhisattva.
You know what? Yes. One of another Dharma friend is funny. He always asks the teacher, the master, saying that, what is ultimate truth? Every time he asks, what is ultimate truth? The teacher, like deaf, he doesn't say anything. One time I hear what he said. He said, you keep asking, then you will know. That means you're thinking about it, You keep asking, but he won't say nothing. He doesn't answer. He just say, keep thinking. That's it. And then,
well, that's a pain, because then you don't get an answer. When I was in high school, I used to say, why? Why?
But that's why you keep why. After you tell them, you still don't know anyway. So they said nothing, So.
Well, this is why you're saying listen, but it's like, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. I think at the end he won't ask anymore. Well, different. He understood already.
Oh.
Yeah.
Different teachers will have different approach, and they may give you answers. So, but sometimes these answers can't be really found from outside. It has to come.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to really
enlighten.
Use this very skillful to ask.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't use the, I said at one time I said to Sifu, 我混了几天, 混了. He stopped me. You learn Buddhism, 你不是混的, okay? You study, okay?
Justine couldn't understand what you say.
Huh?
So Faye said, if she thought she's not focused on her practice, and then the master Ren-Shun say, no, you still thinking.
You never
and
say that
doing.
It's one word. This is not a good word. You have to use a good word to mention Buddhism is a good thing. You don't say just go around fooling around with it. No such thing.
Yes.
So after that, I never use that word for anything, because it's
not, right. Okay.
See, that's when the teacher gives you something good, you feel it, you practice it. That's the way I think it's learning Buddhism is a very important. You have to accept the criticism. It's not really like schooling you,
Yeah, well, that's why. Yeah, that's why I said to you, I had a mother who just told me not to say anything and just listen.
It's true. That's work, though. That's what the kid said. just listen, don't answer, right? Be
Yeah.
Sometimes, Justine, if you like, keep going and have like more faith and doing this bodhisattva's path, your wisdom will gain. You will have more wisdom.
Yeah.
We're all trying to do that. I mean, we're on the same
when I
path.
was in a junior high school, I learned the mathematics is a trigonometry. I don't understand what is sine, cosine, and all that. I keep asking the teacher, and teacher get very annoyed. This little girl keep asking and still don't know what is going on. This is the summer vacation. She gave me a book. You do this exercise whole summer. Then now I'm the best in the class, okay? See, this is some kind of method you have to treating certain people to understand what it is. You don't need to really keep asking and then you ignore them. They're still asking, Some people are so stubborn, just like me. I don't let her go. I keep asking, what is this? What is that? Every class, and then she got very annoyed. And then summer vacation, she knows, and so she gave me a book, and then with all the exercise, so I have to do it at home without her, right? So yeah, not just let go. This is the funny thing. That is me. I normally like to ask answer, but I mean, the Dharma teacher is always good to me. They sometimes they hand me a book. You read it.
Well, I couldn't
have a lot of books.
I couldn't spell when I was young and I didn't even know to start at the left hand side to write. Yes, I thought you could just write anyway, and I was into this mirror writing stuff. I had no idea how to write.
Yeah, every person have their different growing up. Yeah. That's why we all different, right? But I mean, there's always the truth in there. You learn it and you get it.
But some nuns can be really mean, and I was 8 years old, and the nun told me I was completely stupid.
Because they haven't got enough compassion. Maybe.
They had no idea where I was coming from. None, because I could sit there and draw something almost in perspective at 8, but I did not understand what I was reading either. I wouldn't retain it.
All right. Okay, I'll be back later. I got to
go
have
ahead.
a break. Okay, see ya. Okay. Sorry, my computer is frozen every time.
Don't worry.
Sorry. Okay.
Vera also computer frozen.
Okay, see ya.
Aren't you eating? Justin? Not eating? I cannot hear you. You mute.
Well, I didn't even touch it and it muted.
You blow it.
Yeah, I must have done something.
You breathe in it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's raining here, raining hard.
Yeah, it was raining earlier here just before class.
Yeah, I hope they don't knock on my computer.
I gotta go check something. I'll talk to you in a little bit, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
How's the weather?
It's cloudy, but it's cleared up. It stopped raining last night.
Oh, the weather is really bad in New Zealand as well. Well, in Auckland.
Is it?
Yeah, I try to to do the trees, but it's raining every day. Hopefully I can do it today in the afternoon. So I can put in the into the bin, and they collect once a month.
Vera 还在 stuck 吗？你知道？
什么？
Vera
Vera Wasu 啊。
Yeah.
She had to go to her morning praying service now.
She said my computer frozen.
No, that is me.
Vera.
No, that is Eka.
Oh,
yeah.
Eka. Okay.
Eka Wasu. That's my name in Indonesia. Also Shi-Yi and also Eka Wasu. Eka Wasu is
okay. All right.
The name.
The other way.
Sorry.
But anyway. Yeah, this is just stop raining now. It was raining twice.
Yeah, it stopped raining where I am, but in Sydney, where my family is, my mum and my brother, it's still